you don't really know what to do, and you don't really know what to do in life or with your life, and you're looking around you and you're wondering, how come all these other people are able to do things so well? Like everybody from the truck driver to the taxi drivers to the food delivery riders, all the way to the CEO billionaires, are all just driving forward. Different levels of happiness and excitement, but nevertheless, they're still driving forward. And you're wondering, will I ever be able to fit in? And what am I doing wrong? And somehow, even though you've sort of struggled and gotten to different stages, even gotten some achievements, like I know I've been in the media several times, even after looking at myself, staring back at myself from the newspaper with my head like this big, and Shah Rukh Khan, the greatest Bollywood superstar of all time's head this big, I'm still looking at myself like, why do I feel empty inside? So that was me a few years ago. And so it's taken a lot of healing and a lot of time. And today I'm speaking to the group of you who are wondering, will I ever fit in? And also, I'm a pretty casual guy. If you guys are here for the first time on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, feel free to say hi. And I'm not going to be too serious of a coach and a life sharer, but it is a serious topic. And some people coming to this on YouTube are depressed as so let's not get too playful with the topic, because I've been on videos like that before 10 years back when I was ready to jump out of buildings. So let's keep the seriousness a little, but let's also keep, the casualness and the casual vibe. Anyone who's resonating with what I'm saying, or you face something similar, or you have your own advice, because I have tons of coaches, entrepreneurs, and really stellar people on my LinkedIn, on my Facebook, and maybe some on my YouTube as well. And with YouTube, I won't be able to see who you are. But yeah, so if you guys have some advice for everyone else, line that up in the comments, and I'll try to show those comments across the video over here once I figure out this streaming software really well. So I have my notes on the left, so I'm going to refer here a little bit. Now, the first reason that you don't understand why you're not really fitting in, and you don't really know what to do, and you don't really understand what to do with your life in general. Or right now, maybe you're at a stage where, and those people search this video up as well, where you're at a certain stage and you're just like, bleh, like you're just overwhelmed. Like maybe you just had a divorce. Maybe somebody in your family just died. Maybe you just got fired from your job. Your YouTube channel isn't growing. Nobody's listening to your songs if you're a recording artist. Maybe you are at the bottom end of the education spectrum, but you're educated enough to work in a city, like some of the friends I've had in the past. Well, some of my staff, I guess, because we hire helpers and their boyfriends and husbands who are now family friends, because those are just the kind of people we are. We mingle with everyone. Let's say you're like a hairdresser and you don't have a lot of education, but you're looking at this and you're going, I understand English. I understand what he's saying. I don't really know how to get ahead in life. Being a hairdresser pays me $1,000. How do I live like that? So every day I'm eating like tomato soup and rice. So it's like, so you're wondering, and a lot of us are, maybe stuck in certain situations. Now, the very first answer, and to just solve this ASAP and make you figure out what the fuck is going on, the first answer is childhood conditioning. I know I talk about this a lot, and I'll link the series of live videos that I did previously, and I will continue to do up here on YouTube. So check those out. But your childhood conditioning is actually what has led to you not knowing what to do. Because since you're a child, you've been told how to behave, how to sit, how to walk, how to act, how much to eat, eating what is good, eating what is bad, what jobs are good. If you don't study, you'll be a sweeper, like as though being a sweeper is bad or something. I mean, think about it. If people didn't sweep the streets, you wouldn't have, nice streets to walk in. So it's a good job. I think it's a good job anyway. So, you know, all this shit that's been put into our head by other people, and it's not necessarily wrong or right. It's just stuff that's been put in there by other people since you were a child. And therefore, today, and I've been working on this with my own therapist and my own healers as well, the thoughts and the voices that we have, and even some of my clients been asking me recently, are they even our own? You know, like I have this. I was about to say chick. Well, she's my cousin, so I can't say that. But I have a friend. I mean, a cousin. I mean, an extended cousin who will like come to me and say, "This job doesn't suit my requirements." And she's probably going to be watching this video too. And she just texted me on WhatsApp a while back. And in my head, I'm thinking, what requirements? As a 20-year-old, what fucking requirements can you possibly have on planet Earth? If you live with your parents, you have no requirements. You have one goal right now, one goal. Go out there and get as much experience as possible. But you can't even do that. You can't even just show up to McDonald's and start being a waiter, or show up to a delivery food company and start being a person who delivers food. Why? Because your parents told you, "Ooh, that's wrong. Only poor people do that." Well, guess what you are if you have no money in your bank right now? You are a poor person. So go fucking do that then. Get some experience and get some money in. Anyway, back to the point. Childhood conditioning is what led to all these other voices in our head. And I'll give you an example because example is the best way that I teach anyway. Where up to today, there are some remnants of childhood conditioning. Where if I'm actually doing a really fun activity and other humans look at that activity and go, "Wow, that's awesome that you're doing that," there's a voice inside me going, "Oh, I think I'm doing something wrong right now." And I'm wondering, huh? What? Like, why? How would it be wrong? And I realized over time it's because my parents and their parents put it in my head and our teachers when we were young that that shit was wrong. It's not wrong. Going out for a walk in the park is not wrong. It is your society that's built up this park for you to go hang out in. It's a park. It's nature. It's what was existing before the concrete. How can that be wrong? And somebody will come back to you and say, "Oh no, no, it's not that that's wrong. It's that we're wasting that time." What wasting what time? How is you rejuvenating yourself to be a better human for the rest of your life? Here's the start of your life. Here's where you are now. For this part of your life, you become a better human if you go to the park now. That's just proven science at this point. If you don't know that, well, start researching on where science and metaphysics are headed. How can that be wrong? But some of us still think, "Oh, I shouldn't waste these 20 minutes." But with an exercise plan, or making out with your spouse or girlfriend or boyfriend, or practicing that musical instrument, or going for a movie that fills you up with inspiration, or walking in the park, how is that wrong? Is that really wrong? Can we actually consider that wrong if it's actually moving our life forward? So the reason you don't know what you're doing right now, you don't know what to do, is because anything that's coming to you naturally, your mind's going, "Oh no, 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 don't think about that. Don't think about hanging out with your friends. No, 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 don't think about going to watch a movie." A movie? How dare you watch a movie? No, 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 don't think about quitting your job. You can't quit your job. You Even though the job is the one that's making you go, "What the fuck am I doing in life? And I don't know what to do next because I'm so damn frustrated." Oh no, yeah, but don't quit that because it's good, because that's what you've been told. No, no, don't jump out of that marriage that's oppressive, where your husband is smacking the shit out of you every day or throwing bottles across the room, but you're watching this live video and you're going, "Oh, yeah, I can't do that. I can't get out of my marriage because marriages are for life. Till death do us part." Something that somebody else wrote. You have no clue who wrote that fucking line. Somebody wrote it, and now all of us say it. And worse than saying it is we follow it to the T, even though it could be leading us down a miserable path. But don't do that. Don't quit your marriage. I'm being sarcastic there. Um, don't let go of the family members who are so toxic that every day you question, "Why do I feel this sense of, like angst and anger and frustratedness and jealousy and unfairness building up inside me, hanging around this family member? Why do I feel that when I'm around this family member? But oh, I must be the one who's selfish because they're a family member." What does that mean? That was basically your parents telling you, "Be nice to your family." Storybooks telling you, "Be kind to your family." Teachers telling you, "You must stay with your family." But what the fuck are you supposed to do if you feel all this going on inside? That means there's tension. And if there's tension, you need to examine why that tension is. And if it is because the family member is behaving weirdly, and or in an unkind way, because weird can mean anything. So if they're not kind to you, if they're not loving towards you, if they're putting their needs above yours and not on equal footing, and then you're feeling all this shit building up, and you think, now I got to stay with this family member because it's family, it's just not true. And that's also your childhood conditioning. Childhood conditioning about people who get first in their exams, or people who win an NBA championship and win like 100 gold medals in the Olympics, they're correct. And hence I must follow that correct path. I must be a YouTuber with 1 million subscribers. We will not stop uploading videos until we hit 1 million subscribers, because that's the right thing to do. That's childhood conditioning, societal conditioning, over and over and over, again and again, again and again, till the point people jump off the building. Children write suicide notes to their parents. In many countries, it's in the news actually, and they say, "I'm sorry, I'm not good enough." Like, say what again? what what have we done as a society to each other and ourselves to the point that children are going, "I'm sorry, I'm not good enough"? To learn more about that, check out my other video, "Why Am I Not Good Enough?" I'll link it above right now on YouTube. And if you're on Facebook, just scroll through my wall of the videos tab, and LinkedIn, just scroll on my posts. So, why are we doing that to ourselves again and again? Well, the good news is you're not doing it to yourself, somebody's done it to you. And well, I say good news, well, that's actually the bad news. The good news is that you can do something about it if you take responsibility. So that's why it's good news, because you didn't do it to yourself, somebody else did it to you. Now you can take responsibility and remove it from your life, right? Because that's conditioning that's been put in. You can put in new conditioning. This, your brain is simply software, right? Your skull is hardware, your brain is software. And the software is something you can reprogram to make yourself start doing the things that you want to do, or that serve your life, even though you don't want to do them, like push ups. So we've got to rewire ourselves to really start to remove this childhood conditioning. And as you put in more conditioning of your own, and the conditioning that you like, and the next step, I'm going to keep watching because I'm going to tell you how to do that. As you put in more of that stuff, sooner or later, you're going to start asking yourself, how come I always know what to do? That question is just going to evaporate. The "why don't I know what to do" question is going to just disappear. And people are going to look at you like, oh, like, whoa, you're always like, wow, I see you've been getting busy. Oh, I see you always know what to do. Oh, you're full of action. These are comments I get when I'm doing the stuff I know that I'm supposed to do, and then I do. And as with any human, right? You look at someone, and you look at Elon Musk, and you're like, how come he knows what to do next? Like, how does he know, like, oh, he wants to go to Mars? Like, how did he? Nobody told him how to go to Mars. Nobody told people who are doing great things to do great things, because in society, I mean, unless you scroll the same Instagram people that I do, you're not really told to do great things. You're told to do nonsense. Really, it's negative as fuck. And especially from my parents' generation, which is anywhere from 40 to 90 right now, any of that era, the Industrial Revolution fucked you guys up. And if you're watching, and I know a lot of you are, and you agree with me, and thanks for agreeing. And it's true, because, and these are the more mature, older crowd, they agree that, oh shit, we got completely fucked when we were growing up. Like, walk in 2 lines and eat at 3:20 p.m. when the bell rings. Like, what are you, a slave? Like, your body knows when to eat. Okay, your body knows when to take a break. No wonder the younger and younger generations want more flexibility, more kindness, more empathy, more inclusion, and all this spiritual awakening stuff all over the corporate workplace, because people are breaking out of the illusion, and they're going, fuck all this shit that doesn't make sense, because we have a brain, and we have a body, and we have a spirit, and we know what makes sense, and it feels good, and if it feels good, it must be right. Now, of course, you can go deeper into science and go, well, not everything that just feels good is right, because you eat 50 chocolates, it might feel good, but then you're going to just go to the hospital. That's true. So we have to temper. It comes in levels, right? Levels. So I'm going to cover levels on another video, which is not the topic of this video. But here's how to know if you are listening to other people's conditioning or your own conditioning. And this is a very important question. And the question I want you to ask yourself is, are you following your joy? Notice I didn't say feels good, because anything can feel good. This feels good, but this isn't necessarily joy right now. This is just a nice feeling. What is joy? Joy is when your heart sings. It is when you're doing something and you feel a pulling force to suck you into that activity, a pulling force to suck you into that activity, and that doesn't let you out. When people go, yo, it's lunchtime, and you're like, oh, wait, give me a while, give me a while. Now that whatever you're doing there is pure joy. And joy can look like bliss, it can look like spiritual connection. It doesn't necessarily look like you smiling like, like, you could be carving a piece of wood, or planting a tree, depending on which way you're going to go. And that could feel like joy. And that could feel like, wow, my whole being feels like it's being engaged right now. And that is joy. Whether that could be feeding your child, feeding your parent, buying your parents a home, retiring your parents if you're trying to be a 6-figure, 7-figure, 9-figure business owner. It could be having, coffee to fuel the work that you need to do for the planet. So that could be a form of joy, but really that's more like excitement. And so joy comes when your soul is expressing its true nature fully, right? And a wise lady once told me, like, tears are when your soul recognizes the truth. So when we cry like tears of happiness, we are completely in flow and recognizing some kind of truth in line with the larger sphere of love. And so that's when you know you're following your joy. Like when you look out of your office window to the river nearby, let's say you work in a cosmopolitan city like I do, maybe you're in Sydney, maybe you're in Singapore, somewhere, and then you're going like, I want to be swimming in that water right now, not looking at it as a good view and paying 5 grand a month extra for this office because it's a good view. Fuck the view. I want to be inside the water right now, like swimming right now. That's when you know, and you go in there and you feel like, whoa, this is amazing. That's when you know you're following your joy. And it also probably means that a career change is in order. The wrong career is probably going to lead you to a question like this: I don't know what to do. You type that into YouTube and now you've come to this video. I don't know what to do in life. I don't know what to do with life. And yeah, and if you're on my LinkedIn or Facebook, well, sorry, you haven't typed anything, but you're just watching me speak. But hopefully this is relevant. So, it points to a career change. It points to spiritual awakening. It points to a new way of being on the planet, which we are seeing now. And this is 2024 and this is being recorded. Is your spiritual connection strong? That's the next thing. Because if it is, you would never ask that question, I don't know what to do in life, because there's always things to do. If your spiritual connection is strong and you're spiritually awakened, and I help people to, through their spiritual awakenings, by the way, because I helped myself do that. And now I help other people do that 5, 6, 7 years later. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful to see people awakening to the true nature of the universe. So if you're one of these people, DM me and, I could give you like one-on-one consults or help or whatever it is you're looking for. So, is your spiritual connection strong? If your spiritual connection is strong, you would have researched what is this whole spiritual thing. Your soul came here for a reason. You would know that reason. And without that, you're pretty much just like a human body that's pumping yourself with like chemicals and toxins and yes, good stuff also, but mostly on this planet, everything you eat, the air you breathe. I don't control this fucking air that I'm breathing right now. I didn't make this microphone. I don't know how cheaply this metal is coming off while my sound waves are hitting it and bouncing back into my nose and causing me cancer. I have no clue, right? I don't know what's inside this coffee. My wife says it's great coffee because she picked it up in Sydney. So I mixed like 1 part vanilla flavored coffee with 2 parts medium roast, whatever that is. 2 different brands, Starbucks and another brand mixed. It tastes good. But what actually went in there? I have no clue. I don't know the fumes I'm breathing or the tap water I'm drinking. I don't know this stuff. So on a daily basis, if you take in all this shit, hi Seema. So on a daily basis, if you take in all this stuff, um, and also the words and conditioning that everyone's put in, then you're going fucking crazy if your spiritual connection isn't strong, because then you're just a body that's being bombarded by other people's stuff all day long. Just think about that for a sec. You don't control the transport system. I mean, if you're the government, you're probably not watching this video unless I'm being spied on for some reason. You don't control the transport system. You don't control the water quality, the air quality, the food quality, the sound quality. Even you don't control secret experiments to fuck humans up, or make us better, whichever way you want to look at that, depending on your level of positivity or negativity or knowing the truth. But let's not go into that right now. You don't know what your dad's going to wake up and say the next morning to you on the phone, regardless of whether you live with them or you don't. You don't know what your kid's going to say. You don't know what your spouse is going to say. You don't know what your pets are going to do. This is all other stuff. That's not your stuff, which is your soul's connection up. So if you have a strong spiritual connection, then you can view all this stuff through a different lens. And that, just even not accepting or accepting it, but just viewing it differently, a perspective shift, which would come with that strong spiritual connection, would everybody's spot on, she says. Yeah. So if, you would immediately know that this was part of your spiritual connection and mission on earth. And then it would stop you asking the question, what to do? What should I do in life? Right? You might have sad days and bad days and tired days. And believe me, for someone like me, who for the first 12 years of my life wasn't really allowed to do a lot of sports because my parents were like, got to study. Then I went like crazy rebellion mode into sports, did a lot of them. But because we're excited as kids, we don't really know like how to train our bodies. And so only recently I've started really training my back muscles. And when you really start training your back muscles, you have a neck ache all day long. And add that to the ache of a person sitting like this and typing all day long in the offices when they go, yeah, double that ache, right? But I know, what my mission is here and what I'm here to do. So all these things can be looked at in a slightly different way, right? Why would you put up with um, painful days after the gym? Why would you put up with sad days? Why would you put up with bad days? Can I separate in my head? Oh, that was the point I was coming to. Where is this neck ache because life is fucked up? It's very easy to think that because our brains are crazy things. You suddenly be talking to your boss. Your boss is like, oh, well done. You're like, oh, I'm feeling great. Then your neck starts to hurt at the office because you did too much weights the previous day. And now you're like, oh yeah, life sucks. Yeah, my neck always hurts. Yeah, my body's fucked up. Yeah, because I didn't train. Oh, okay. Yeah, my husband said I'm fat. Oh shit. Oh, later we have a party. Oh, I don't feel so good. I'm not going. Then you don't go, and then at night you're sitting up thinking over a glass of wine, which again is a bad toxin. Why is life so fucked up? So it's this collection of shit that happens throughout your day, and you're left wondering what I do in life, right? A lot of the people who come to videos like this on YouTube, for example, or just say these things, aren't even actually having bad lives. You're just having a tummy ache, right? So you need to chill out. And if your spiritual connection is strong, in the moments when your mind is wandering and you're remembering, why is this happening? Why is this blah, 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 all this crap? You will just remember what you're here to do as a body. Oh, thanks, Anu. She says, perfectly said. You will remember why you're here and center yourself based on that and push through. That's why people have pictures of their family members on their office tables. I don't want to diss day jobs or anything, but it's to remind themselves what they're working hard for. And that's great, to remind yourself. So that's a earthly thing, like a family member. Well, a family member in love is in between earthly and spiritual because it, has that human thing, but then it has the love component as well, which is like the master emotion and so on. But we need to always remind ourselves of what our spiritual connection is and how our childhood conditioning messed us up, to conclude this video, and whether you're following your joy. So these three things: childhood conditioning, what it was, figure it out, slowly remove it, get your own conditioning in. How do you do that? Follow your joy, right? And develop your strong spiritual connection to keep you centered on the first two, right? And so once you figure this stuff out, then you can start to go to module 2. And when I say module 2, I mean module 2 of my upcoming course, Expressing Your Gifts, which is great for teens, adults, kids even, where it's called Achieving Your True Desires. So until you've figured out, it's sort of crossing over into figuring your true desires. But first you need to figure out who you are, because till you know who you are, what your soul came here to do, you don't really know your true desires. Now, you could say, thank you for this. My morning mantra will be, why am I here? Nice. So until you figure out who you are, you can't really, get into your true desires. And some spiritual healers will argue a little bit about that, and they're correct, because partly because Your soul's desire is your true desire. So once you figure out who you are, that is your desire, because all souls came here with a mission. That would be the, the spiritual wisdom there. And so that would be your true desire. But it's also important to keep in mind your earthly desires, because without that, you can't really function in the 3D world. So even if your true desire is to just spread spiritual truths on YouTube, like mine is, for example, that's one of my true desires, my soul's desire. I'm gonna keep going and wondering every day, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I here? What's going on? Why is this day so bad? If I'm not having some of the earthly desires fulfilled as well, which is, oh yeah, lots of people are getting their lives changed, but my bank account is empty. Let's say, because many spiritual healers are like that, and we have this problem with the spiritual realm and the 3D realm. Same for authors, same for educators, same for artists, same for musicians, and so on. All the godly people are broke on earth. Well, not all, but many. And that's because they haven't really figured out yet their true desires on earth, right? And their desires on earth, along with the soul desires. So I don't want to make this too long. We'll go into it in other lives and videos. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, in conclusion, that you want to take care of your childhood conditioning, whether you're following your joy and your spiritual connection. And if you do those three things, my friends, your entire perspective of don't know what to do and how to do it in life and what to do and what you should do, those days and moments will become lesser and lesser and lesser, and you'll see through different eyes, and you'll realize that those are just passing moments, and you'll get really zen like and Buddha like, and then nobody can touch you, sort of. But you're still human, so they might still be able to touch you a little bit. So that's all. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, please hit like, please comment. That helps the algorithm to send it to more people. Share it. That obviously helps directly. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to this channel. If you want more such videos and tips and just frank life talk from me, and if you really want all those videos, then hit the bell icon to get notified of every single video. All right. Take care. And Anu says, love listening to you. Oh, thank you. That makes my heart sing, but I shall not get emo on this video. Take care and bye-bye, everyone.